season finale of freaking season 6 of The Walking Dead is finally here, and holy shit, was it the most intense Walking Dead episode ever. The whole episode revolved around a freaking trip to the hilltop because Maggie's having baby problems and they need to get her there. Things just don't go well for our crew because they just keep running into saviors every which way, specifically fucking Trevor from GTA 5. I don't know what his name is in this freaking episode, but it is the voice actor of Trevor and guy that Trevor is modeled after. It was pretty fucking cool. After that introduction, freaking Trevor is being a hard ass just like freaking Rick is, and he's all like, we don't negotiate, and Rick is all like, alright man, well we don't negotiate either, and we're gonna leave. And Rick at that point thinks he's a fucking badass, and Trevor's all like, bitch, you don't even know what's coming for you. Before our crew went on their trip to the freaking hilltop, I forgot to mention that Carl was Savage Carl because damn, he trapped his lady love in the freaking closet because he was like, baby, I don't want you going out there because it's dangerous, so I'm gonna lock you in this closet and you can be pissed at me when I get back. If I get back. We see Morgan finds the horse of that guy that was in armor that literally said, I'm looking for my horse. Well, Morgan found that damn horse and he freaking rode into the freaking town and found our baby girl Carol. At this point, I gotta say, fuck you to AT&T Uverse because you fucking cut out while I was watching The Walking Dead, you bitches. Back to Carol and Morgan, they have a freaking heart-to-heart. Morgan patches her up and she's all like, leave me alone. I can't be there. If you love people, eventually you're gonna have to break your morals and shit because you're gonna have to kill people to protect them. Of course, Morgan is Morgan. He's all like, there's always another way and life is precious and blah, 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 blah. Morgan goes to cut down that walker that they hung real high from his neck because that was the freaking undertone of this damn episode. Let's just hang people. When Morgan gets back, Carol is gone. And he freaking runs outside and he's all like, Carol! And he gets his horse and he starts leaving. We catch up with Carol down the road and she freaking gets tackled by that one dude that survived the firefight that she caused. That dude knows he's about to die, so he's all like, with my last breath, bitch, I'm gonna watch you die. And he fucking shoots Carol twice. And of course, I'm just like, Carol! Carol's getting blasted and she wants to, and she's all like, I know I'm gonna die. I'm ready. Just kill me already. When this homeboy was like, oh, walking off, and she's all like, just kill me already. And freaking he goes up to her, he's about to blast her, and Morgan shows up and he's got a gun and he's all like, it don't have to end this way, man. Other dude's got a gun pointed at Carol and he's all like, oh, fuck it. And Morgan's all, blah, 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 blah. And finally, Morgan has come back to reality. How did I switch mics? Then we see other freaking dudes in armors with spears and horses that are supposed to be part of, I think his name is Ezekiel. I don't know. I haven't read Advance in the comics. That might change because I'm tired of not knowing all the inside information, so I might read ahead. Don't know yet. Anyways, it looks like Morgan and Carol are going to get the help they need, and they're going to find a new freaking group of people that might just be really badass. Back to our RV crew that is on the freaking road to Hilltop and is hitting every roadblock possible because Negan's crew has like a bajillion people. I'm not even kidding. Every roadblock got crazier and crazier. The first two were normal people and they were just like, what's up, bitch? And then there was one with a freaking Red Rover, come on over, freaking zombie chain that had people covering it in case they got through. But even then, they had a freaking plan. They were like, oh, we got more people down the way, bitch. And then there was a freaking roadblock of logs. Like, these fucking people are freaking, what are those things called? Lumberjacks and shit. None of those roadblocks were worse than the freaking one that had like 30 people on it. How many people are in this freaking Negan group? At this point, our group is like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Eugene comes up with the plan of like, well, they're expecting us to ride around in this hunker-dink of a freaking vehicle, so why don't we just go out on foot? Our crew is going through the woods on foot, holding Maggie on this freaking stretcher, and holy shit. Like, oh man, the one thing you saw happening throughout this whole episode was that stupid whistling that Negan's crew was doing, and when you hear that, when our crew is on foot, you're just like, holy shit. I can't even do the freaking whistle, but holy crap, every time you heard that, you're just like, no way. I fucking loved it because, oh man, I have been a Rick supporter this whole time. From season 1, day 1, I have been a Rick supporter. I've always fucking thought the character was great. But it's so nice to see our unstoppable character just be terrified. Like, he knows he's fucked up. Our crew gets freaking whistled into this freaking circle pit of the biggest biker redneck gang I've ever seen. Rick is so scared at this point because he's all like, holy shit, my decisions are gonna get my whole crew killed. My son included. And then freaking Trevor comes out of nowhere and he's like, we'll take all your shit. And they take all their stuff and he's like, oh yeah, get these dudes out. And they freaking bring out Michonne, Daryl, freaking Eugene's already on the ground. But they also bring out Rosita and Glenn. After all of that, the fucking man himself, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, shows up as fucking Negan. The last 10 minutes of this show, when Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan, freaking Negan, is talking, are these just the most intense 10 minutes because you're just there like, oh my god, who's it gonna be? And then Glenn has this little moment when freaking Negan's all like, man, you look like shit to Maggie. And he's all like, I should just put you out of your misery. And Glenn's like, no! You start thinking at that moment like, no, it's gonna be fucking Glenn. But then Negan is all like, put him back in line. Like, you guys get one. You know, you guys are emotional. I'm gonna let that slide. That happens again, I will shut that shit down. Then you see freaking Abraham being all badass and you're like, oh, maybe it's gonna be him. And Negan's all like, huh. And then, you know, the freaking him and Carl have a moment and you're just like, who's it going to be? And of course, after you're just there and you're like, do it already, Negan, just fucking kill somebody, they do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo is like the freaking most devious song ever. I feel like if kids sing that in school, somebody dies somewhere. It's like a freaking cursed song because it's been in a bunch of movies and shows. Everybody does eeny, meeny, miny, mo and people die. After the song is sung, you see freaking Negan hit somebody and he's hitting the camera and it moves down and it starts blurring and blood is coming down and it is giving you the first person viewpoint of the person that is dying. It just goes black and you hear a head being bashed in multiple times. And I know at that point some of you are like, oh man, fuck this, I can't fucking believe that, man. Walking Dead is just doing this because it's all about stunts and they're just trying to fuck with the fans, and man, I can't believe this show. I know that's exactly how some of you felt. You probably got all pissed because freaking Walking Dead had another cliffhanger ending and all that jazz. I also let out like, oh fuck you, Walking Dead, but it was a happy fuck you, not I'm pissed off at this show and I don't even want to watch it anymore because bleh. Highly suggest you guys watch Talking Dead that happened after this episode because Robert Kirkman and that other guy explained why they do cliffhangers and exactly what this means and all that jazz. And they freaking even answered the stunt question of everybody like, they're doing this for stunts and blah. They freaking answered that question on air. You guys should check it out. Personally, I don't care that it was a cliffhanger. Thought it was kind of awesome. Yes, I would have loved to see the freaking person get their head bashed in, but this freaking, that sounded terrible. But we all wanted it anyways. But what this does is it's gonna make us talk about this for the next 6 months, unless you're one of those people who are like, I'm done with this show, man. Fuck this, I'm done. Do you know how many people right now that cover The Walking Dead are doing their research right now? And they're like, oh my god, freaking the camera panned this way, and this person was next to this person, and if you do the eeny, miny, miny, mo thing, and it comes to this person, and oh my god, Daryl has a new show, so he's probably dead, and he was on Talking Dead. You know how many people are just freaking out and trying to figure out who died right now? A lot of people, and they're gonna do that for the next freaking 6 months because you're gonna hear so-and-so sold their house in Atlanta, so-and-so has a new show, so-and-so's got a movie deal, and all of that stuff is gonna drive speculation, and people are gonna be like, holy shit, like it could be so-and-so, and what, oh my gosh. And that's what a cliffhanger does. It makes you want to keep talking about this show, and it is smart business. If we would have saw Glenn or Daryl or whoever get their head bashed in, all that's gonna freaking do is like for the next week we're gonna be like, dude, can you believe freaking Glenn got his head bashed in? That's crazy. And then we're not gonna talk about The Walking Dead for like 5 months. Now, we're just gonna be like, who is it? The last thing I'll say about that is Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead himself, said that he writes his comics with cliffhangers. That's how the cliffhangers do. And if you've ever read comics, whether it be The Walking Dead, Batman, or anything else, comics usually issue to issue end on a cliffhanger. I think a lot of people are just high on emotions. They wanted to see who was gonna die, and they freaking gave you a cliffhanger, and you're just like, oh. And I also think a lot of people aren't over the whole Glenn thing. That's probably why there's so much backlash for this freaking season. Anyways, let's talk about who died, because there's so many things that would point to certain characters dying. One, I think it might be Eugene, because he had that whole heartfelt moment with Abraham. He kind of got closure with that whole thing. Abraham admitted that he's a man, he's badass, and like I said, he gave the freaking plans to Rick on how to build bullets, so he would freaking, cement his legacy in the group of being so awesome. Daryl, on the other hand, got shot. He wasn't going to be able to fight back, and Norman Reedus has a new show, so you're just like, oh shit, was AMC going to kill off Daryl? You also have Abraham, who is just starting to get happy with life again. He's freaking found Sasha. He's all like, do you think we could be like Glenn and Maggie? He just made peace with Eugene, so all of his things look good, and then The Walking Dead could be like, fuck you, your life's looking great, but we're gonna kill you. Blam. Obviously, you think it would have been Glenn. He had that little moment where he jumped out of line, and of course, he was the iconic death in the comics, so if they stayed true to the comics, then Glenn would be dead. Rick is the leader of the whole group, so people could justify that, but of course, he's the star of the show. I don't think they'll kill him. They'll kill Daryl before they kill Rick, but at the same time, they could kill Carl to send a message because, like, oh, you're the leader? I'm gonna show you how bad of a mistake it was to kill my crew by killing your son. Although, Negan mentioned Carl at the end of the episode, so I don't think it's Carl. There's also Aaron, but he didn't have a big enough part in this episode, plus I don't think he's a big enough character to really send that message of who should die, so I don't think it's gonna be him. And lastly, we have our two females in Maggie and Sasha, but honestly, I don't think The Walking Dead or AMC have the balls to show a man beating a woman to death with a bat, because all of the freaking domestic issues that would light up with that freaking happening. Yes, the show is brutal and it's based off a brutal comic book, but I don't think they even want to touch the possible backlash of that happening. So you can count the two girls out. I personally think that if it's not Glenn, it's gonna be Eugene. That's really everything I gotta say, but I gotta say I have a bonus video for you because I actually recorded my reaction to everything that was happening. There will be a bonus video on this channel, hopefully tomorrow. I would have got it up before this video, or I would have incorporated into this video, but my computer is being a total bitch and it's taking forever to export an hour-and-a-half video. So keep an eye out for that. Of course, I want to know what you think about tonight's episode. Did you like Negan's performance? Who do you think died at the end? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your Walking Dead buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, guys, I am your host, Juicebox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye!